Dahlia shook her head fervently with a bewildered expression. Mr. Langford, we'd be more than thankful if you didn't find any faults with us. We would never dare blame you for anything. Exactly. Please get up, Mr. Langford. Look at you. You're bleeding so much. I'll go get you a band-aid. Florence quickly went into the bedroom to get the first aid kit. A band-aid. Lewis could not believe his ears. He'd severed 2 of his fingers, for goodness sake. What use did he have for band-aids? Why don't you go to the hospital, Mr. Langford? Your bleeding doesn't seem to be stopping, Dahlia suggested cautiously. Have you forgiven me, Ms. Nicholson? Lewis asked expectantly. Guess so. As long as you don't come and bother me anymore, you're forgiven. Dahlia nodded. No problem at all. I'll make myself scarce now and never bother you again. Lewis was elated. He nodded at both Dustin and Dahlia as a sign of apology before he made a run for it with his men in tow. Hey, Mr. Langford. Your band-aid. Florence raised the bandage in her hand and waved it around, but Lewis did not even turn back at all. If anything, he picked up his speed. Dahlia Nicholson, just you wait. I'm not done with you yet. Dakota saw that the situation wasn't favorable for her, so she escaped too. What happened today was nothing but peculiar. Why did the great Mr. Langford apologize to Dahlia? And he even got down on his knees. How unbelievable. How absurd. She had to thoroughly investigate what exactly was the reason behind all this. Say, Dahlia, what exactly came over Lewis Langford? Has he gone cuckoo? When everyone had left, Florence couldn't hold back her curiosity. From how she saw it, the only plausible reasoning behind everything was that Lewis had lost his mind. Why else would he apologize to them? He even went to such lengths as to amputate himself. Which person in their sane mind would do something like that? I have no idea either. Dahlia shook her head. Then, her gaze swiftly fell on Dustin. Did you do something? Truth be told, I did nothing. It was Lewis himself who offended a big shot, so he had to atone for his actions today. Dustin shrugged. Is that so? Dahlia had her doubts. Dustin had told her before that if she faced any sort of difficulty, he would be able to straighten things out for her. And now he really did clear things out for her. She refused to believe that there wasn't anything fishy going on behind the scenes. All right, I'll admit, I'm acquainted with an influential person. Seeing that he could not hide things any further, Dustin decided to come clean. Do you remember the man I had dinner with the other night? He's the scion of the prestigious Spanner family. Both his power and his status greatly exceed those of Lewis Langford. He was the one who helped me out. Mr. Spanner? Dahlia immediately recalled Adam Spanner. How do you know such a prominent person? She asked dubiously. I helped him before, so I guess he's just repaying me a favor. Dustin chuckled. Adam had been a sickly kid who had constantly been bullied, so Dustin would stand up against those rich and arrogant youths of Stonia for him and often taught them a lesson for messing with Adam. Because of that, Dustin even earned himself the nickname Vile Demon. I never would have guessed that you'd be affiliated with such an important person. How did I not know this before? Dahlia asked, curious. These are old-time stories. No point bringing them up. Dustin shook his head. All right then. I will not probe too much into your past. But in the future, please do not act rashly, Dahlia warned in all earnestness. It's not every day you get favors from people like him. If you bother him too often, Mr. Spanner won't want to help you all the time. You have to rely on yourself. You don't have to worry. I know what I'm doing. Dustin smiled. As they spoke, a hunched, middle-aged man with grey hair knocked on the door and made his way in. It was none other than Rufus Rhys, the king of Theeswy.